Hey, what's up, guys? So, here we are again. A couple of corrections and some troubleshooting that I've run into. Just a couple of roadblocks. Series is not being canceled or anything. It's still going on. I've fixed everything. Just a few issues I had. So, by the way, this looks unprofessional as hell. I just wanted to throw this together as quickly as possible. I do recommend you use the little grommets at the bottom of this thing if you are going to do proper cable management, because you can with zip ties or something, or twist ties. So you can get better airflow in this thing, because we are overclocking again on a stock cooler. And you actually might want to get some of these 80mm fans for your back, in case you're putting off in a very closed area. But anyway, that's not the point. So, and yeah, this is going to be fixed up later. I just wanted it, quickly as possible done. Anyway, so I got three little things that I ran into. So, RAM. You might notice this is a little different than the RAM we were going to use. So we're going to use the Crucial Ballistics. The difference between, there was like this green shell over it, now it's like these Ripjaw X red ones. Like, what's the deal with that? And I'm sorry about the lighting, it's absolutely awful. I'm going to have to move. Oh, there we go. So what happened was one of the RAM slots would not work, but only with the 2 sticks of RAM that I was using. Windows was only detecting 4 gigs in one slot, but in the other, it wouldn't detect anything at all. And I'm like, oh my god, the motherboard's dead, or the motherboard's having an issue, or the slot on the motherboard's dead. And then I realized, wait a minute, I just tested this thing before I got the RAM, and it was reading 8 gigs. So I pop up my Kingston, I pop up this RAM, and it's working fine. But apparently, whenever I use either one of the slots for any of the 2 RAM for this one slot, it doesn't work, but this one does. But any other RAM set I've used from this thing, it reads both of them. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a problem with Crucial. Just something I'd point out. When in doubt, get a refund. Switch your RAM out. The second thing is, I actually didn't know this, and now I'm making a correction to it, although I didn't really explicitly state it. So, not all processors are really equal. Now, I kind of knew this. I just thought every G3258 can overclock to 4 gigahertz. I was wrong. So I got one, and it would only clock to 3.8 before it started crashing at 4.0, which is ridiculous. And because I was losing my mind, I'm like, oh my god, did I do something wrong? Is my motherboard messed up? What's going on? It's just lost the silicon lottery. A lot of people can get their G3258s to clock to 5 gigahertz. Not on stock though, you'll destroy this thing, you'll have to raise the voltage, but a lot of people stock without changing the voltage. Maybe that's what I had to do, but I ran a processor before I could raise it to 4 gigahertz without changing the voltage. It ran just fine, and that one didn't, so I just took it back, got this one, and it went to 4 gigahertz just perfectly. So yeah, something to bear in mind. If it's not working, raise the voltage. There's plenty of overclocking guides online. I'm not going to do a video on that because it's just something I'm good at doing it, I'm just not good at really explaining. I can kind of do a video on it, but it's not, there's so much information on the web that's going to be better than what I can do. I'll just link you to something. There's a site called Overclockers Club that's pretty good. LinusTechTips did a video on it, explaining all the steps for overclocking. Overclockers Club did that too. That's how I did my first overclock on the other board. And you'll probably be able to find some little things online for how to do it for this board. And there's actually an easy tuner, like you can do it in your desktop. You don't even need to go to the BIOS, which is great. Just download that utility for this, and make sure to update all your BIOS, your drivers, everything. Just upgrade everything so that you're ready. And run mem test, not with a USB key, do it with the CD drive or something. Because if you burn mem test to a USB, it will destroy it. And that is what happened with me. So I lost a 64 gig USB drive. Anyway, so now the last thing, and you can't see it because it's garbage. Anyway, my Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi in this thing is kind of crappy. I did not expect that. It's tolerable depending on where you are in your house, but this thing just doesn't have very good range. Maybe it's my antennas. Maybe it's the infrastructure in my house. I'm basically living on Indian burial ground because nothing ever goes right here. But yeah, it's kind of shitty. So I would recommend getting, and I know I initially said a price it'll be fine for later, but we really got this thing for the Bluetooth, and you can of course switch out that module in there. It's mini PCIe. But yeah, get something like a network adapter. The thing is, like, I've been having problems with Windows 10 and wireless network drivers. Maybe there'll be a fix later, but it's been an absolute pain. So I'm gonna get a new network adapter because my good one, which was working, it just died, as in like physically died. I pulled it out and because it was barely holding on by like threads. And now it's completely dead. So, and the drivers for my other one won't work now. It was working fine, now it's not. Also, you might notice, that's not an R7240. That's a 7950. That's my old graphics card. I just wanted to kind of show it off here and also get this thing running because I didn't have the R7240 when I built this thing. Because I wanted to get this stuff done as quickly as possible and then do all the tests and the YouTube stuff later. I just want to have it set up, but yeah, this is my old 7950, and yeah, the case can fit in full-size graphics card for the most part. It's got about half an inch of clearance left, so that's pretty cool. But the R7240 will still be in here. I'm just using this for testing, and so far it's pretty good. I mean, obviously it's a 7950, so it's going to do really well. But I've been playing some Dolphin games, and as I expected, it runs fine. I've played Dolphin games on a much lower powered rig before with a 5700 series graphics card, so it's fine. There's nothing wrong with using an R7240. That thing's actually better than what I was using, and I'm still able to play a lot of games at 1080p. It's fine. But yeah, the space I got this thing in, it's not getting a lot of airflow in it, but with that R7240, it's not going to require that much cooling because there's only a little fan on it, and it's got plenty of extra space because it's so small. And we got the fans on the back, and we have all these fans hooked up, so this thing is going to stay relatively cool. Just maybe not with a full-size graphics card for too long. But yeah, it's going pretty well, and I just thought I'd let you guys know some of the roadblocks in case you run across them yourselves. I tend to want to keep you guys informed in case anything bad happens. And again, I'm not releasing any of these videos unless they're all at once, so I don't have to, spend 2 weeks in a delay to put one out. This is all being recorded kind of at once. So, hey, if I said something wrong, I can either correct it, or I can just scrap most of the series and then redo it. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.